thing that Spider-Man had going for it. No, the one thing that everybody had that Spider-Man had going for it was the
fan service.
Was the fan service or the hype that people were speculating the fan service, and that's kind of what made No Way Home so exciting. But I think like narratively, No Way Home isn't probably as exciting as other Marvel features that we've had. And I haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet, but just from the trailers and from the reviews that it's
This is not an ad.
This is not a spectacle.
John, I'm gonna tell you right now.
This is not an ad.
You, especially out of everybody here, are gonna love that movie because it really, you especially, and Macky will agree, you are gonna love this fucking movie. Without a doubt.
More than I love Crispin dancing up a storm in the corner there.
I had a hold them bow in my head. That was
Listen to me, man.
Hold them bow.
That movie made me laugh, made me cry, made me feel every type of emotion, bro. Made me angry, made me happy. It was a really, really, really good movie.
We'll definitely talk about it as soon as Crispin and myself get a chance to watch it. And
had to see it opening night. Had to see it opening night.
I would love to, but you know, when you don't need a babysitter, Mac, it's really easy to go.
Listen to me real quickly. Listen to me, man. Nobody asked you to be a dad, okay? No, I didn't say, yo, Johnny B, I need you to have a child. Like, this is something that I need from you.
I think you should bring it to the movie. Why not?
No.
Not
gonna happen.
Bro, that movie is almost 3 hours long. She's not gonna sit one place and watch that shit.
Not gonna happen. It won't happen. She'll be so tired and frustrated and bored and hungry and bathroom and this and that, and
you won't even enjoy the movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
You won't even enjoy the movie. And Crispin got a baby.
Bro, I took her to see Paw Patrol and she couldn't sit still.
No,
it was already like, is the movie almost done? Like, maybe it's like halfway. I was like, we haven't. The problem just happened. Like, this is the conflict. We're in the conflict right now. There's been no resolution.
You pay attention.
I blame TikTok for the short attention span of the kids these days.
It's the internet.
The internet.
But you know, so I take her to go see Wakanda fucking Forever. I'm just gonna be like, oh.
No need to put the fucking in the middle of that.
She's gonna see the word forever, be like, no, Dad, no.
This movie's forever. She's gonna be like, what is Wakanda and why is it forever?
Why is it forever? It's crazy.
Is that a real place?
The runtime of this movie is 2 hours and 41 minutes.
3 hours.
It's a long. It's 3 hours.
For our sake, it doesn't feel like it though. It was very. I don't think it. No,
I'm used to watching long films.
Like I said, I'm not mad at it because I enjoyed every single minute.
I think it was needed though. You can't. If they would have rushed it, it would have taken away from the movie.
I agree. I don't think.
I mean, not for nothing, he's not wrong.
Who told you to stop and look at my message?
Yo, he is a professional.
It was just for
listen,
you to
bro.
look over,
listen, bro.
And they'll be like, all right, it's transition time.
Listen, bro. Listen. I like to break the third wall, okay, or the fourth wall. No, I am one of those people that likes to break the fourth wall.
Even though it seems that way.
Listen, She-Hulk.
This is just to get you interested to go into a DC topic.
Yes, please, because we're talking about DC today. I'm sorry, we're not talking about what kind of.
We gotta lead in with that.
Only me and Shawny watched this shit. The other two people didn't watch it, so but it's fine.
We're not going to talk about Wakanda Forever today because
we're not.
We all haven't seen it.
That's what he just said. He just told him. Thank you for repeating him. Thank you. But anyway, get ready. Get your engines ready, y'all. What the fuck is going on?
Got a little Tarzan at the end of that one.
Yo, listen to me. George of the Jungle was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up as a kid. I cannot lie to you. But what the fuck is going on, people? It's your boy Macky, OMO. I'm here with my good brothers. Excuse me. I haven't done an intro in like 3 weeks. So excuse me if I fuck up a little bit. But we got Johnny B with the razor sharp assassin with the clipper. As you can see, he done shit with the clipper right now. My wave's spinning. Beer's popping. We out here. We also got the Black Kage, Crispin. And Badman Shawny, Badman pull up.
That is a good one, though.
We got Badman Shawny in the motherfucking building, and we are the Paradise Podcast. Oh, shit, what episode? I think it's episode 65. Welcome to episode 65, ladies and gentlemen. While I check on my iPad, what episode this is?
It's okay.
I'm getting old in my old age. Hold on, I gotta get the episode first.
You're gonna blame age.
Old in your old age makes sense.
Getting old in my old age, right?
It makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. I know what he meant.
Getting old in my old age.
That math
We
works.
play all these.
I know what he meant. I know what he meant.
Nah, getting old in my old age is crazy. Episode 64. 64.
He was getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I was getting ahead of myself.
He was getting ahead of himself.
Episode 64.
Yeah, there you go.
He just wants episode 100 to be here already.
Nah, for sure. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Episode
All right,
100.
so yes. We are here. We are live. We are direct. I didn't say this before off mic, but I'm gonna say it now on mic. Only John really knows about this, so I'm gonna tell everybody here because I love you guys and I love our listeners. But your boy is fully employed. Your boy got a job and he's finally a true project manager. Let's fucking go!
Oh shit! He's managing projects.
Let's go.
He's finally gonna manage some projects.
Yes, bro. Let's go. I'm not a project manager, but I'm an implementation specialist, which is kind of like the same thing, damn near.
You just do all the background work.
Exactly. So I'm an implementation specialist. Shout outs to me. I start December 5th, so I can't wait. I'm going to be traveling the country, going to Las Vegas, LA, all these other places. I'll still be on the pod. Don't worry. The background just may look different.
Oh, I cannot wait to talk shit about you traveling for work and potting from a hotel.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, I can't
LED,
wait.
Nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Because we coming for your background, nigga.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Put Las Vegas in your background.
Look,
nigga.
you guys wouldn't be my loved ones if you didn't. So I appreciate that. That's how I know you guys love me. All right. That's my love language. Making jokes. Okay. All right. So let's get right into the topic because we're not doing that other shit in the beginning anymore. But let's get right into the topic. Let's go. So we are talking today about DC, the new DC. What did you call it?
Rebrand.
Shut the fuck up, Crispin.
Oh man,
what did he speak? Nigga, fuck is you talking about? DC,
because his name is Damien Crispin.
You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga?
Nah, you got a little bit of that.
We're talking about the real DC, nigga. Fuck out of here.
He's like, I'm real.
We're talking about the real DC rebrand with James Gunn. So I don't know if you have heard the news. It's been out for about, I want to say like 3 or more, almost 4 weeks by now. 3 weeks?
It's old news at this point.
Yeah, it's old news, but I feel like we haven't been here in a while. We want to talk about it because we do talk a lot about DC and how they can change it, and they've actually done something, so they must be listening to the podcast. We appreciate the listen. Next time, give us the credit.
Give us a like too.
With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Shawny. Please let us know how you want to start this conversation.
So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We've been talking about DC for a while now. Their movies haven't really, they don't have the MCU formula. They've just been making standalone movies. You had your Batman, you had your Shazam, you had your Black Adam, which is kind of, I think Black Adam is kind of like the beginning.
Who saw Black Adam?
I did not.
I haven't gotten
I did not. I do not plan to.
The Rock is in?
Yes.
I'm gonna watch it when it goes on HBO Max. So
yeah,
that's what.
See, this is exactly part of our point where we're saying that DC needs a fucking rebrand because to the point we have to wait for movies to go straight to streaming. We're not in a rush. So James Gunn basically is the new Kevin Feige for DC.
Well, it's him and someone else, right?
It's him and someone else. But
Peter Safran. James Gunn and Peter Safran are both co-CEOs.
Exactly. So they're gonna essentially do a rebrand, and essentially they've been trying to draw out a plan for the next 8 to 10 years for DC projects across the board regarding the animated universe, TV universe, and the movie universe. So they're doing the animated universe as well? they're trying to do the planning to have everything coincide to some level, so it could be like a multiverse aspect.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're going to do animated films that live within the DC
thing. Think about What If
EU.
and how they pull how we saw people. Well, from Doctor Strange, obviously it's way past spoilers. It's already gone. They pull.
If you haven't seen Doctor Strange by now, fuck you.
Yeah, it's out of Disney Plus.
Fuck you.
Of course, they found a way to plug Marvel in, but basically, the same concept as What If. They pulled some characters from the What If side into the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie, so something along those lines. So, long story short, the question is simple: do you think DC can be saved at this point, and do you think that James Gunn is the one that can do it?
Let me go first.
You got it.
Because I'm not like the biggest DC fan, right? Even though Aquaman is my favorite superhero, American superhero of all time.
That's cool. I didn't know that fact.
Yeah,
wait until you watch Wakanda Forever.
No.
I'm sorry, I gotta keep shitting on. I'm sorry.
No, it's because since I was small, I thought Aquaman was that nigga.
Oh, come on, man.
Nah, I respect it.
I don't really give a damn, bro.
You don't really hear a lot of Aquaman fans, but you know. Like,
wait, which Aquaman? Aquaman.
The one that looked like Mermaid Man.
Nah, Aquaman is the first time I saw Aquaman, I think it was in the Justice League anime.
Okay,
animation
so
thing that they had.
Yeah,
I was just a kid, bro.
Justice League.
Yeah, the old one, yeah,
the regular Justice League, right?
Yeah,
or Justice League Unlimited,
the animated series for the
regular
Justice
shit.
League.
I have to rewatch that shit. That shit was hard. Anyway,
so I just thought Aquaman was cool. This nigga control fishes and shit.
Oh, wait.
Yes. Go ahead. No. I don't remember his name. All
right, so we have to we have to.
Now this episode is dedicated to him. Yes, for sure.
The episode is dedicated to Kevin Conroy, the masterful OG voice of Batman from the Batman the Animated Series. That a lot of people became Batman. Well, a lot of the newer age fans became fans based off of him. He's the most iconic. He even did the same one for Batman Beyond as Old Man Batman. And if you ever got to meet him in real life, he's the most humble person you've ever meet. One of the very few.
He passed away from cancer, I believe.
Battling cancer. He did Batman the Animated Series, like Shawny said, Batman Beyond. He was Batman in the Arkham series, the video game franchise. Just him and Mark Hamill will forever be everybody's Batman and Joker. So to lose Batman, was a big blow for a lot of Batman fans. He was just such a talented voice actor.
Yeah, this episode is dedicated to you, man. R.I.P. Rest in peace. You've given a lot of people great shit over the years, and we appreciate your life and your work. So yes, Crispin, sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I felt like we had to definitely mention that talking about DC.
R.I.P. to my man. R.I.P. to my man. You know what I'm saying? He good. He needs to rest chilling. You know what I'm saying? All right,
nigga, go ahead.
All right, nigga. So you go on your rant, so I can't say R.I.P. the way I want to, nigga. What the fuck? What's going on? All right, but the reason why I think your question was, Shawny's question was, you think DC could be saved? My thing is that I don't feel like DC ever was like interconnected well like that, even in the comic books and stuff. Like at least from what I saw in the anime. Like in the animation and cartoons, they never were like interconnected that well like Marvel was. So to do it in a movie stand, it's like they have to recreate the whole thing like from scratch almost. You know what I'm saying? Marvel, they had the advantage of like, oh, these characters have touched before. So even if we change the story a little bit just to make them touch in a better way, it doesn't matter because people know that this guy saw this guy in the comic or in the anime or something. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Because that's what I remember. I don't remember them being interconnected like that. Only when they came to Justice League, like they were interconnected. But in their separate anime by themselves, they weren't connected like that.
So really quickly, I want to just like give it some information. Right. Like the word anime is not. I know you mean animation. I know you mean animation, but some listeners are gonna be like, Batman anime. I never heard of that shit. So when he's saying anime, he means animation. He doesn't mean Japanese anime. That's just really quickly. But I do agree with what Crispin is saying, that with the DC universe, it's never been like congruent. It's never been one straight line. It's always been all over the place, except for the one that we all know, which is Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. But other than that, most of the stories have been, just one-offs, and but the way, hopefully they're not going to save DC. Like I hopefully the way James Gunn is going to look at this, I hope that he does the same thing that Marvel has done in the past. Use unknown people or not that popular superheroes to kind of save it, because listen to me when I tell you this. The only reason why I knew who Iron Man was is because of Ghostface Killer. I kid you not. That is the only reason why. And if people, fans of hip hop, Ghostface always called himself Iron Man. I had no idea who he was. The reason why I knew Thor is because of Greek mythology. I didn't know he was in DC until that shit started. So
Marvel.
I think, Marvel, sorry, Marvel started. So I think your boy's been on a GNT. But I think that is the best way that James Gunn and the other guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, can save it, is by using people or using stories that we've never heard before, instead of telling us the same stories that we've continued to hear over the years.
It's the same thing that happened when they tried to do the Hulk movies before all the other movies came out. Those two Hulk movies that they came out at the beginning, them shits is garbage. But then when they rebranded themselves, came out with Iron Man, that first movie, and boom, just went. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. I think that's the best way to do it.
So traditionally, like in the past, the comic books always kind of were their own continuity, no matter what, just because they would give so many different artists and writers like opportunities to create their own stories and like side stories. And like with DC, they've like found unique ways to restart the timeline over and over again. You know, they did it when they introduced the New 52. They did it when they introduced the
Flashpoint.
DC Rebirth. Yeah, Flashpoint. And how it restarts everything and gives them an opportunity to hire new writers and just write new things. So the comic books have just kind of always been their source material and inspiration for doing animated film adaptations, or just straight up taking ideas and adapting them into live action films. Before Marvel Studios, no other studio had ever done an interconnected cinematic universe that spanned multiple phases and generations and just a long time span. No other studio had ever done anything like that, because I personally don't think you could do something like that unless it was something so deep and rich in as many fucking characters as like Marvel or maybe Star Wars. Like if Disney handles Star Wars a little bit better, we could get the same amount of content that they're getting out of Marvel we could get with Star Wars. But no other film studio had done anything like that. So now that's the standard. So now everybody's going to say, oh, well, is this going to be as good as what Marvel's doing? Or since DC is another company that dabbles in superheroes, right? Is DC going to be able to do what Marvel's doing? It would be like the same thing as if any other superhero property comes out. When we look at Invincible, when that comes back out, we're going to compare to DC animation, probably because they own the animation game for the most part, but we're going to compare it to superhero storytelling that happens in Marvel. Is this what Marvel's been giving us? When they finally decide that they want to do Spawn again, we're going to compare it to Marvel, and we're going to say, oh, well, is this how Marvel would have handled Wolverine? You know what I'm saying? Like, or something like that. Like, and there's always going to be comparison to Marvel Studios just because they've done something no one else has ever done before. I do think that Warner Brothers for the longest time didn't treat DC as like a property that was going to generate income the way that Disney had poured into Marvel after they acquired it. Like Warner Brothers has held DC for such a long time. It's such a long-standing IP for them that it's like Batman and
it's
Superman
like over. It's almost over.
Mickey
Like,
Mouse.
yeah, it's almost like 30 years by now. Like they've had it.
More,
had it for,
more, longer than that.
Yeah.
No, they've had DC since like the fucking 60s, I think. or something like that. Like they've had DC for a long fucking time.
Not doing nothing with that shit.
And I mean, like they license it to everyone, right? That's the reason why you go to Six Flags and get on the Batman roller coaster or the Superman roller coaster, because they license these characters to other organizations, right? Yeah, all that stuff. Like, and I've gone to different Six Flags across the country, and they all have different rides that are all DC themed. But it's just interesting to see IPs being used that way, right? Like now we're seeing Disney take advantage of Marvel, and we're seeing Marvel rides at Disney, but that was something that we wouldn't have imagined before. You wouldn't have imagined getting on the Spider-Man roller coaster at a fucking theme park. That just didn't happen back in the day. Like, but you familiar with going to Six Flags and seeing Superman or seeing the Batman and Robin or something like that, just because of DC's long-standing brand recognition. People for generations know who the fuck Batman and Superman are.
Yeah.
They're all, you know what I'm saying? Always going to know who those icons are. So I think Warner Brothers just didn't put as much emphasis on it because they figured these IPs are so old and so long-standing, people are going to go see it anyway. They're going to go fucking see it. Why do I need to have conversation about this when it's Batman? They're going to go fucking see Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of, I feel like that formula didn't work. And when they got an opportunity to work with James Gunn, he showed Warner Brothers and DC Studios that you can take something obscure like the Suicide Squad, and you can make it incredibly engaging and interesting and funny, and just do the James Gunn thing that he normally does. And
Can I be honest about just, I know this has nothing to do with anything, but really quickly about Suicide Squad, the James Gunn movie, not the first one, because the first one was shit. The James Gunn one, the first watch, amazing. The second watch, not so much.
Because you already knew what was going to happen.
Exactly. And I think with
don't matter.
No, and I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that away from you. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like that Suicide Squad by James Gunn is a one and done. And it's just the fact of the matter is that you're also comparing it. Think about what you're comparing it to the first Suicide Squad. Like there was a lot. It's a lot to be desired. So you're like, oh, like they fixed a lot of shit there. It was a good watch. Do you think you're gonna watch it again multiple times? Probably not.
No.
It's something where if James Gunn would have been the one to establish that part of the story, it probably could have been told better. But since he's following up on something that was already done,
scraps,
you're kind of rebranding on top of something that's already been done.
I mean, he did a good job with what he had, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, let me not even get into my personal reasons why I didn't.
Well, let me just wrap this up real quick then. I just think that, when you see what came after that, right? Focus on one of his characters where they made an entire series on Peacemaker, right? And how well received Peacemaker turned out to be. Right. And as much as people ridicule John Cena, right? Like we've ridiculed him here on the podcast in the past.
No.
Yes, we have.
I never did. I wasn't on that episode. Peacemaker was really good.
As Peacemaker, yes. I'm saying John Cena in general. Like most
I love John Cena, bro. He's the only white rapper that I fuck with his album.
Oh my god.
Besides Mac Miller. Is Mac Miller and John Cena?
Well, a lot of people do rag on John Cena.
Yeah.
He's not everyone's favorite.
I mean, The Marine wasn't a good movie,
right?
It's because we have the Rock.
Like, you got to think about like the highest point that we're trying to compare.
It's hard to beat the Rock.
It's hard to beat the Rock, yeah.
The Rock. Yeah. First of all, the Rock was on the top of the world, and I know we're going. He definitely is better than Batista. But if we're talking about like wrestlers when they were wrestling, and I know this is not a wrestling podcast, but I used to love wrestling back in the day, and The Rock was one of my favorite wrestlers. The Rock was on top of the world. So it's like anywhere he goes from there, he's gonna do
nice.
He's
gonna get away.
He's gonna go crazy. He's gonna go crazy. I'm sorry, it's hot in here. It's hot in here. Shorty got the heat on because she's cold, and I'm fucking hot. So yeah, he's anywhere. Yeah, true. Anywhere he goes from the top of the wrestling world, he's gonna go crazy. So of course, anyone that comes after The Rock, they're gonna get compared to Batista, John Cena. You feel me? So it's gonna be tough to be the greatest. But I think John Cena, as far as acting,
I think John Cena
he's not bad.
He's good in his lane. Like
yeah,
that's why one thing I respect about John Cena is that he doesn't try. The Rock tries to touch everything. John Cena is like, I'll touch what I touch is what I'm gonna focus on, and I'm gonna make that shit hot. He has less misses than The Rock, but that's only because The Rock just has so many he got so many shots.
Bro, how many movies has this motherfucker done with Kevin Hart?
With Kevin Hart, it's been a lot.
Bro, it's a lot of movies, bro.
Yeah, do at this point.
Yeah, they literally are like two of the top stars that try to touch every little thing.
But I mean, it works for them as a business model, right?
Exactly.
It brings two completely different entertainers together into one space, and they've got some kind of business synergy working there, and that's good for their brands. Which is why I'm excited to see The Rock as Black Adam whenever the hell I do get to the film. But I am looking forward to see how he does as a superhero, right? Because we've seen him as like gorilla tamer.
Black Adam's not a superhero. He's
an anti-hero, right? But I'm saying superhero genre, right? As a superhero character. So you know, like he's been the freaking the gorilla tamer. He's been the soldier. He's been the freaking international thief.
All of the above.
All of these different, you know, he's been a freaking secret agent, SWAT, you know, family
was
busting.
He a babysitter or tooth fairy?
He was the tooth fairy. No. He was the tooth fairy.
He was the tooth fairy. The babysitter was Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Yeah.
I mean, don't put it past him. He will do the babysitter soon.
He's also been in Fast and Furious.
That's what I said. Family busting SWAT member.
He's also been like a helicopter save guy who saves people. I think that's like the fire. He's been a fireman. He's been everything.
I told you all of the above.
So I mean, like that's why I appreciate what John Cena does, even though The Marine was a shit movie. Every movie other than that and everything he's done besides that has been pretty good.
But look at what we're talking about, right? In his contributions to DC as a character nobody knows about.
Yes, that
nobody really knew who the hell Peacemaker was, right?
I did the research. He was a Nazi.
You did the research, right? Because they were putting emphasis on a character. So you're like, well, who the fuck is this? I want to see what this character is about before you get to see anything else. Yeah. All right, cool. But that's not what James Gunn is making him.
No, James Gunn transformed the character for sure.
So you know, but that's the thing is now that there is room for growth, now there's room to build, and now there's room to kind of like have a singular vision towards something. And at least like the Warner Discovery is saying, okay, we need change, right? Because that's what we were talking about before. We were like, oh, Warner Brothers doesn't want to change anything. They don't want to do what needs to be done. They fought with the fans about everything. They fought with the fans to get the Snyder Cut. They fought with the fans about a whole mess of different things.
The Snyder Cut was way better.
The Snyder Cut was better, but nobody wants to see a 4-hour movie film thing like that. Like that would have been cool as a miniseries. The Justice League, exclusive HBO,
4-part series,
4-part series on HBO. That would have been fantastic, rolled out in that way. But that has to be intentional. You can't just take a 4-hour cut of a film you're going to make into 2.5 hours and then assume that your story is going to be told the same. Like it's just, I don't know. I mean, and a lot of films do that. They make long films and then in editing it gets chopped down really small. But I still think that like at some point you have to understand when too much is too much to put into one story. Like he tried to tell 3 different stories in that movie, and it just
too much.
It was too much. He couldn't solve one problem.
For the casual fan, it's way too much.
they didn't establish enough to give you that many stakes in one film. Like,
No, for sure.
You're establishing new characters and just adding stake after stake after stake after stake. It was just, I don't know, it was just a little too much for me. But we look at James Gunn, we look at, you know, some of the things that happened from his short time there, and how that short time or those couple of things that he put his hands on was enough for Warner Brothers to say, yeah, we want you to pay more attention to other things. And here's the paycheck to go with it. You know, so like it's cool because he already had a rocky relationship with Disney. Disney wanted to fire him for really old Twitter comments. No, but then it was like, they brought him back because they wanted him to finish the Guardians of the Galaxy and all that other stuff. And that's what Kevin Feige is talking about when he's like,
I was going to mention that, right? I was going to mention that too. Kevin Feige said,
what did he say exactly?
He said that, you know, hey man, listen to me and listen to me, Clay. He came in like a big boss, because you already know Kevin Feige over there running shit at Disney. He was like, he's like, let me mute this nigga. He came in like a big boss talking about, yo man, listen to me, partner. Wagwan, yeah, my youth. Listen to me. Yeah, you already know. That happened as he was saying Wagwan. And he was like, yo, listen, man. Listen, I will be the first one to go and watch a James Gunn movie in the movie theater once he's done with what he has to do at Disney or with Marvel.
Yeah.
That's basically, just to sum it up, that's what he said. So I think it's very, I think, like I said, man, I personally, we've been talking about this for a long time. We're talking about this over a year at this point. That DC, as long as DC has, and they don't have to do things like Marvel, but having someone at the head to kind of make everything seamlessly and make sense and as one is better than just doing one-off movies, because again, everyone is going to compare you to what Marvel is doing, because you're doing superhero, they're doing superhero, their universe is congruent, your universe is all over the place and does not make sense. So I feel like the James Gunn and what's his name? What's the other guy's name?
I have
Peter.
No,
I thought we were supposed to say James Gunn and
Peter Safran.
James and Pete. James and Pete, right? I think having people at the head of the monsters you could create, because I personally prefer DC, since I was little, I've personally preferred DC characters over Marvel characters. Like, one of my favorite characters is Static Shock, and
that's a good character.
One of my favorite characters.
They don't use him enough,
and they don't use him at all. So hopefully,
I seen with locks, and I wanted locks.
So same. So hopefully they'll.
All right, John. Fuck out of here.
John making me mad. Hopefully, he paused himself
because nobody wants to see my face.
So hopefully they can use characters that we don't see as much,
bro. They could literally start with Static, bro.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I think they can.
What you mean?
I think I'll just chime in at that point. I agree with Crispin. I think Static, if you're looking for a character that everybody has been looking forward to, has been asking for the longest time. A lot of people watch the show growing up. They know who he is. You want to rebrand DC. You want to bring the fans back. It's like how they did with Iron Man. Nobody thought Iron Man was going to be the fucking popular until they took him, gave him a movie, made him pop with the actor. They need to get a good actor for Static, bring his story, especially with the times now. You have a black mainstay character, Bang Baby being brought up, the new DC, bring him into the fold.
Bang Baby,
the racist parents, all that.
The racist, everything is covered. That's you literally have it right there. You bring him into the fold. That's easy, and everybody's looking forward to him. Alley-oop, boom, DC's back. Okay, this is the first movie. This is the first James Gunn production. Boom. Now we see what DC's work with, because not for nothing, we got to think about everything that's happened before. We've had too many Batmans.
We've had too many Batman.
Way too many Batmans. We don't
except Batman Beyond. If they went in that route,
and they could,
that might be interesting.
I could see them doing it, but I think that if you're talking phases, that shouldn't be done for the next 3 years.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying rush a Batman Beyond film.
I think a Batman Beyond. I think it should lead right into it, and I think it would be the perfect time frame to do so.
But is Robert Pattinson a good old man Bruce Wayne?
They don't think, to be honest, they don't have to use him. They don't have to use him. He can be his own standalone
They
thing.
can get Don Francisco, man. What are you talking about? You look like him.
I mean, not wrong.
He does.
What was I gonna say? So going just to wrap it up really quick, just to put everything into perspective. Thinking about James Gunn, where he comes from, he's coming from Disney, he's coming from the MCU. Look at what he had, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not gonna sit here and try to shit on the Guardians. Fuck Chris Pratt, but not the Guardians in general. But I will say that prior to the MCU, the Guardians were only known by really big comic fans who were focused on who they were. So the mainstream media did not know who they were.
Nope. Never heard of them before.
Never heard of them.
They had a couple, very few animated adaptations.
Yeah, they were in
Guardians. Popped up once in a blue moon. Yes. You saw them once.
You saw them in a bit, but it is. Yeah, exactly. Video games, for the perspective of video games and animation alone, you saw the Guardians there to some small level. It wasn't until James Gunn came in, gave him a movie, boom, one of the best. James Gunn brought him in, one of the most popular Marvel movie, family-oriented movies out of there, getting Volume 3 and everything correlating to the main storyline. He had his whole drama with Disney. They let him go. Probably one of the worst moves they could have possibly done, because that was the move, the fire that got lit under him to go to DC.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make Suicide Squad success. I'm gonna have.
Can someone? I'm sorry to cut you off in the middle of it. What were his tweets? Like, what did he say?
We don't need to go into that.
Were they racist?
They weren't necessarily. I think they found older tweets from back in the day, like retro.
But I like the topic. Like, we don't have to say what it was, but I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember the topic.
Continue.
Yeah, you just look it up.
Look that up.
Yeah, so he got let go. He went to DC, made Suicide Squad, got Peacemaker spinoff, all that jazz. He did a good job. He's been under the tutelage of seeing what Kevin Feige has done for Marvel. This is a common example of, hey, you have a game designer from Capcom. They left, they went to SNK, brought the success of what made Street Fighter great, and they brought it to the King of Fighters franchise for people who are aware of fighting games and whatnot. Same exact concept here. You're taking somebody who was in a successful role and you're bringing it to somewhere where they can use a successful leader. Under this
experience, not copy and paste, but
yes,
what you've learned and how you can implement
it.
Our property, exactly. What we have. Yeah.
Do we need to see a carbon copy of the MCU in the phase timeline? No, but with everything that DC has, I do agree with Macky. He can come in. I agree with Crispin as well. Bring in Static Shock, reset this shit to have a nice streamlined thing to clean things up. Bring in all of the B and C characters, because we've had all the A characters, and they've been they've had some movies better than none. But we need.
Bro, we've had over at least 10 Batman movies, bro. Enough.
Exactly. We
don't need mostly Batman. They've been too scared to do more Superman or do good.
Because
Superman.
those movies
were boring.
Wait, hold on, because I wanted to mention this before we move. Before we close out. That Henry Cavill is leaving The Witcher, and they're saying he's leaving The Witcher because he's coming back as Superman.
No, he left because he was
he left because there were things, because he's a big video game and video game fan, and the show wasn't going in the way of the video game. But people are also speculating because he has been recasted as Superman. Now one of the Hemsworth brothers is gonna be the guy from The Witcher.
We'll talk about that one later. That's a whole little section on its own. But even with that, him coming back to the fray and being excited to work with James Gunn, maybe we can get a Superman movie that's gonna work very well. But again, I think what should happen going forward is bring in your B and see people in DC because DC has a plethora of heroes that can be utilized in today's space.
Plethora.
Oh, shut whatever. Plethora. A plethora of heroes that can be
You guys are
utilized.
so mean.
For real. That can be utilized. That can be utilized in the going forward. And I think they need to have whoever Batman they choose, whoever Wonder Woman they choose, whoever Superman. I think they need to
Wonder
have
Woman how she is, okay?
No. I'm not saying they should, but I don't think they need more movies. I think they just need to play more of parental roles within these new movies and whatnot, where you're not focusing on just keep them in the cut. We don't need whole new movies. We need new characters. We need a new established timeline. In regards to the live action and the animated things, I think they need to keep those how they are. Keep Titans in its own universe. Keep the DC animated movie universe in their own universe. Keep
bring back Young Justice, man. This is ridiculous.
That should be in its own universe.
No,
keep
but just bring it back though.
Universe. Yeah, bring them back. But keep them in their own universes and stream them. So you have a DC animated movie universe, you have the Young Justice universe, you have the Titans universe, and just keep them separate so everything is just let it work its way out.
If I'm them, this is how I would start my movies, okay? I'm going to start with Static. At the end of Static, I'll put something that connects to the first movie of Flash.
They need to stop him.
Enough.
Give me a second.
Enough of Flash, bro.
Have a second, please.
Fuck Ezra Miller.
More focus. Can I have a second, please? The reason I say this is because Flash is the only nigga that could really connect everybody. You have to have him.
Well, I think they're going to do the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, I think that should be it, though. Flashpoint and be done with him.
Reset it with
you know what? Fuck all that. Isn't it still? It's still Barry Allen that they're doing with that Flash, right?
No, they're doing this little ass nigga.
No, Barry Allen. Ezra Miller is playing Barry Allen still, right?
Yeah.
I would, in my opinion,
I'll bring the nigga from the show.
Yeah, I think they need to get
Kid Flash, bro, or Wally.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because Wally in the Justice League animated show, it was Wally, it wasn't Barry Allen. Yeah. I think they need to have Ezra Flashpoint movie and be done with him. Give us Wally West and then move forward. And now
you're not getting what I'm saying. However the fuck you talk about it, Flash needs to be involved.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
No, but Crispin, I think you're like, look, right? The Flash movie that is supposed to come out is supposed to be like Flashpoint, which is resetting everything. So what he is saying is that use that movie, reset everything, and then start from scratch from there. Don't go back to the Flash. Like we don't need we don't need the Flash anymore.
If we keep the Flash, get rid of Ezra as Barry Allen and bring in Wally West and make
or the Black Flash. Bring that nigga.
Yeah, you mean well, Wally
I said it.
Well, no, Wally in some instances in the New 52 was black.
Bring him.
I don't see why they couldn't.
Bring him. Oh, before we end, I was reading some of these tweets. He was wildin'.
How long ago were they?
Like 2008.
I mean, so this has already been resolved, right?
Yeah.
Because
I'm not gonna say any of the tweets,
but just tell us what the subject matter.
Oof.
He was saying
some of them he was making fun of like rape. He was making fun of AIDS. He was making fun of like certain movies. 9/11.
Right now,
he got to be like 50 something.
Right now,
yeah. This was like in 2020.
You said 2008.
Yeah,
that's the
internet was a very different place in 2008. The internet.
No, I understand.
Not to justify it, but it was a very different time.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand.
People said
people can change
weird shit. Yeah, and people's perspectives can change. Or you can kind of learn how much of an asshole you were at some point in your life and be like, yeah, no, I can't. I don't talk like that no more. That shit was crazy.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like people.
I hate the fact that they go back. I hate the fact that they go back on like people that are being successful now. But they never go back on a fucking governor. None of them niggas. They never go back on them.
Well, they do. Just nobody cares. Unfortunately.
I'm like, bro, you go back on these niggas and these niggas be saying some bullshit and they still govern. They still the governor. They still the president. They still the senator. Bro, get these niggas the fuck out of here if they saying some bullshit.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep moving. One Piece.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
yeah,
yep.
One Piece, man. One Piece. All right.
Trigger.
Hit the transition.
I thought that shit was different.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually miss those commercial transitions.
You're not getting them right now.
Back.
Yeah, you're not getting them right now.
They gone.
Where you are.
Can I
They're
get-
gonna come back though. They're gonna come back.
We need 2. We need another one.
I did 2.
You did?
I did Sanji and I did Usopp.
I didn't hear the first one.
Johnny B,
So
where you at? It's been 3 weeks, motherfucker.
Listen, can y'all stop policing me? All right, because this is
Yeah,
stressful.
him.
With the ops.
Yeah,
I don't
him.
need it.
Singular.
I don't remember if I read the last episode that I watched on the last podcast. So I don't know if the last number that I have there is the last one or if it was the one before that. Because I think I wrote it down before we came to meet, but then we decided not to record when we met. So I don't know if that number, like I don't remember what was the last number. If sorry listeners, Mag is trying to find out where I had left off.
579 was the last episode.
579 was the last episode. Okay.
579?
I'm on episode I was on episode 579.
Shit. Clap it
But-
up. Give him applause, yo. That's a good number.
Now
No.
Now-
Yes, nigga, that's halfway in
He
the
need-
time frame.
he need
Clap
Bro,
it
we
up.
already did that
6:30,
though.
nigga.
Clap it up.
No.
I don't
already-
think Shawny was on that episode. I
That's
think
what
we
I'm
did
saying.
that without
Bro,
him.
sucks to
I'm
be
not
him.
gonna clap. I already gave you the clap. I'm not gonna clap it again.
So now
You already got it.
Now I'm on episode.
Sucks to be you, Shawny.
Hold on.
All right, everybody, hush now. I'm on episode 595. That is where
Clap
we
it
are.
up.
We are on 595 now. He's gonna do the math. He's doing the math because he wants to know how many episodes. Listen, you can't do that to me, all right?
That's only 20.
That's
We've been gone
fine.
for 3 weeks. It should be at least 30.
The
You should be at-
listeners don't know that, nor do they need to.
No, but they know that now. But continue.
No,
Let us know where
you're
you
the
at.
only
Let
one
us-
counting. They're not counting.
Pause, bro. I want you to catch up so we can start talking One Piece shit, bro.
I understand. We have been.
No, but
We
like
just haven't been like on.
Current
You've
shit.
been trying to spoil him all the time.
Current
Talking
shit,
about let's
bro.
talk shit, bro.
Listen,
What
I'm
the shit?
fucking trying. All right, and I have a very busy life. Okay, I have a very, very, very busy.
again,
And I'm
I didn't
trying
ask,
my
I didn't ask you
absolute
to have kids.
hardest
Oh, here we go.
to get through this ridiculous.
Can we mute Matt, yo?
One Piece? Yes, let's mute him. This One Piece journey has been so like
Tedious.
encompassing for my entire life that I literally have barely watched anything else in the past like year and a half because I've been trying to get through One Piece.
There's nothing better.
Which
There's nothing
I
as
agree,
good.
That's
but
good.
I'm missing a lot of things that are on my radar.
You're
I'm missing
lying. You
shows,
watched
I'm
you
missing
watched
movies.
Bleach. You watched Chainsaw Man. Stop lying,
Okay,
bro.
that's just been happening recently, and that's because I'm watching it in my car while I'm
How you
waiting
gonna kill
for my
this
work
man?
shift.
How you gonna kill this man for watching
I haven't
anime
even-
on top of this,
Bro,
yo? Like
I
One
haven't
Piece
I'm
is
even-
not killing. I'm not killing him. He's over here telling me that he hasn't been watching anything else for the past year. He's a liar. He's lying.
Bro, he's
John, go on with
he
your
named
recap.
2 animes. He named 2 animes that came out in like the past
And
3
literally, for real.
You
like,
read.
the last
You read.
month.
I like big girls.
You
Yes,
read that
I did,
too.
I
You
did
read that.
read
So-
that.
You're a liar.
Right there. You played.
You ain't
Sword and
watched.
Shield
You ain't watched.
completely.
You ain't
played
watched.
Splatoon
You ain't.
completely.
You're a
What we doing? What
liar.
else?
I
What
love
else,
bro?
how
You
they- I
ain't-
love
you
how
ain't-
they-
you
I'm
ain't
talking
watched My
about
Hero?
Animes
doing?
completed.
You haven't
other
watched.
animes
You haven't watched My
completed.
Hero yet. You haven't watched My Hero.
No, I saw 1 episode from the new season.
Liar! Liar! You watched it. Liar! I haven't even watched it. Liar!
That's your
Look at
fault,
you.
baby.
I
How you
missed
gonna
all of
complain
Demon
about him and you
Slayer.
watch- Oh, damn,
I missed a
damn.
lot of shit.
You missed all of Demon Slayer.
Like
you
the
haven't watched.
second season. Like
Oh, you haven't
like
watched
the
at
whole
all?
No,
I haven't even
seen
watched
any
the
of
first
it.
season, to be honest.
I haven't seen any of that. I'm missing out on My Hero.
Okay.
I'm behind on Chainsaw Man. I've only seen like 3 episodes of that. He's
There's
like,
only
oh,
like
yeah.
How
6
many episodes out?
Oh,
6, 7.
Only
comes out
6.
tomorrow.
I've watched 2 because I'm watching it dubbed. They got it dubbed on Crunchyroll, by the way.
Oh, they dubbed it already? I'm gonna watch
Good,
first
good
episodes
for you.
again.
Oh, here you go.
No, they have 3 episodes dubbed, and the 4th one comes out Wednesday.
None of this is about One Piece.
What I want to say is definitely not One Piece.
None
Okay,
of this.
go ahead.
We talked about this, and here it is happening anyway. Because
Go ahead.
you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay,
That's
sure.
That's a good screenshot for the thumbnail.
Yeah, right there, just like that. I want that one.
No.
That one.
So $5.95.
$5.95.
Go ahead.
I am now in like what I assume is the middle, but I am now in the middle of Punk Hazard.
What's going on?
So, Luffy and the gang hear a distress call. Something about a samurai attacking people. And Luffy makes a decision that he wants to go answer the distress call. When they
How did Luffy answer the phone?
Kaizo Kuni! Ore wa naru!
Yo, Luffy stay answering. Bro, hello? I got a pizza delivery for Monkey D. Luffy. Hey, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. What the fuck is wrong with this nigga, bro?
Nigga,
He needs you to know.
Say my name right.
He needs you to
Say
know.
my name right.
Monkey D. Luffy. So Luffy, answers the transponder snail exactly like that. And they
Monkey D. Luffy.
Oi!
Oi, Monkey D. Luffy.
Kaizo Kuni.
Oh yeah!
And then that nigga's like,
Before you keep going, one of the, I'm so sorry, John, but I just wanted to say this. One of my favorite sayings, and I do watch it in Japanese, but I've rewatched it in English, is when this motherfucker, it was in Punk, it was in when they were in that jail. I can't.
Impelled down.
When Crocodile was in the cell, and he was like, he said something. He was like, Mugiwara. That shit was hard.
When they call him Straw Hat Mugiwara.
He's like, Mugiwara. That shit was hard. Continue. I'm sorry. I had to say that. That was crazy.
Them niggas be saying Luffy's attacks in Japanese are way better.
No, for sure. For sure. It sounds better, but I don't like to read.
Long story short, Luffy and the gang find themselves on an island that in the beginning appears to be a complete inferno, right? They appear on the side of the island where there is, burning hot inferno is happening on that side of the island. But in the transponder snail, they heard someone complaining about how freezing cold they felt. So it was odd that the signal came from this island that is this blazing fucking volcano, but this person said they were freezing cold. The gang encounter a dragon. They eat the dragon. They find a pair of legs stuck to the dragon. Luffy takes the pair of legs and puts it on his ass, and he walks around with 4 legs. He meets a centaur, becomes friends with the centaur. He races against the centaur over and over again. And then we realize that the centaur is working for somebody else that is on the island. So the island is inhabited. It's not an uninhabited place. And then a whole lot of things just kind of happen. The just to summarize it all, the situation is that I said the dragon. I said they ate the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did.
And then you missed it. So basically what's going on is Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats have landed on an island called Punk Hazard. And this island used to be home to a laboratory that belonged to Dr. Vegapunk. There was an accident. Vegapunk! Right, so there is an accident. There was an accident that happened that caused this large explosion, and gas had leaked out of the laboratory, and this explosion basically killed everything that was on the planet and left like a lot of toxic gas behind from the explosion, and nothing could really survive on the island like that. Dr. Vegapunk, it turns out Dr. Vegapunk had like kind of like somebody else that was like beneath him, in charge of like all the experimentation and the laboratory shit that was going on, kind of like a second in command. And that person is, their name was Caesar Clown. And I don't know how they do it in the
Why? Why is it? There's
he makes
seven
like
niggas
D
in one
sounds.
that be laughing.
He may have one of the better worst laughs. I can't lie.
Nah,
he may
his
have
is
one
hilarious.
of the better. He may
got
have one of the better ones.
Top 5 best evil laughs out of everybody.
Nah, for sure.
And he
does it like every
funny
time,
as
too.
hell. Yo.
I'm guessing that's how he sounds in the English dub.
I never watched it.
No, that's how he sounds in the Japanese.
The Japanese,
because you're saying it with the L in Japanese, they don't say it.
Yeah, no, it's with
R.
the.
He says it like with D's.
No,
you're like with the.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor.
You might need to watch.
Hey, nigga.
You can't.
I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna record it, and then
nigga.
I'm gonna put it in the group chat.
You might be watching the Dutch version.
Yeah, maybe. he sounds mad harsh. The German dub.
Do.
So
I'm gonna find that.
So this island in present time is Caesar's hideout, right? So he wants to continue doing some experimentation, but he wants to do it under the government's radar because he's also wanted, because I think they pinned the explosion on him anyway, like, or that he was genuinely the cause of the explosion, and because he escaped, he's wanted by the government. So he returns to the island and uses it as a hiding place, because the reason why the island is half hot and half cold is because this is the island that Akainu and Aokiji decided to have their fight when they were fighting over who's going to run this bitch. So
this bitch, baby.
Who's going to run this bitch, right? So we see why, the island is half cold and half hot, but it serves as a perfect hiding place for Caesar Clown. So Caesar Clown is on this island and he's performing a whole bunch of experiments, mostly on children. And a warlord of the sea shows up at his doorstep and wants some safe haven on the island. That warlord is Trafalgar Law.
Trafalgar Law. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. I know what you was about to say.
I can't hear you, Shawny. Can't hear you, Shawny.
He was ready. Crispin was on
Don't
it.
say
Shut
it.
up,
Don't
yo.
say
Shut
it,
the
bro.
Fuck up.
Don't
Shut up.
say
We all know
it.
what
He
you're
does
about to
not
say.
know
Shut the fuck up.
that yet.
Word. Let him enjoy it, for God's sake.
Okay. So
he about to say some bullshit, bro.
So
damn.
Law basically meets up with him and says, I'll help you out, you help me out. I would like to roam free on this island, and I don't want nobody to know I'm here either. So he knows things about Caesar that Caesar doesn't want other people to know, and Caesar feels like it's better to keep someone that smart kind of close to you rather than keep them as an enemy. So he allows Law to kind of do what he wants. As long as Law keeps up his end of the deal, he doesn't really have an issue with him. So Law is on the island at the same time that the Straw Hats are there. And at the same time that the Straw Hats are there, Smoker shows up. Now, Smoker, trying to figure out, because of the way he behaves, he really seems like he's kind of done with the Navy, but he still works for the Navy. But it's weird. I feel like they're alluding to Smoker kind of like being more of like a vigilante at some point rather than an agent of the Navy. And then I forget this girl's name, that she's now captain. The samurai girl, the swordsman.
Tashigi.
Tashigi, yes.
Yeah.
So she's captain, and I don't really know what position Smoker is. I mean, I think he's like vice admiral now or something like that. And the two of them are leading G5, which is like a particular faction in the Navy, kind of like
it's basically like a naval base, and it's one of the worst naval bases. Like the people who go to G5 are like the worst of the worst in the Navy, where like they trash. Whether they're not scared, but they're just like, they're evil. Let me just say that.
they're real rough around the edges. Like they don't wear traditional uniforms and they act kind of, outlandish and shit. That's what they're showing. So G5 is also on the island. And I believe when they're out on the water, they get the same distress signal that the Straw Hats got, and they decide to follow the signal and end up at Punk Hazard. Now, Smoker obviously knows what Punk Hazard is, and he's able to provide exposition because of it. And then everybody's kind of converging at the same place at the same time. Law confronts Smoker, and G5 switches Smoker and this girl. What was her name again? Tashigi. He switches the two of them. So Smoker's in her body and she's in his body. And then there's a lot of comedy and a lot of stuff that comes out of that. Law does that to a couple of the Straw Hats too, switches like Nami and Chopper and Sanji and Frankie, and everybody's all switched up. The Straw Hats come across a group of children that are like in this daycare facility. It reminds me of Stranger Things. And some of these children are big and some of them are normal size. So everybody assumes that the children, some of them are giants and just some of them are just regular sized people. And then it becomes apparent that the children are kind of being kept there against their will. And they realize that the Straw Hats were from off the island, and there's a good chance that they might be leaving the island. And the kids kind of take their chances, and they basically beg the Straw Hats to take them with them. I really want to see my mom and dad again, and if you guys are leaving the island, I want to go with you. So they try to battle with the morality of it. We don't really know the situation here. We don't know why these children are hospitalized. We don't know if they genuinely are sick. What if we remove them from here and they die because of it? Those are really hard decisions to make like that. Like to just on a whim say, yeah, I'm going to kidnap this whole room full of children out of this hospital setting that they're in.
Giant children at that.
Giant children at that. Like that was a really, really tough decision for Nami to make, but she makes that decision and wants to help the children, wants to rescue the children. They're crying and begging her for help. And then later on, the Straw Hats learn from Brownbeard, who was one of the centaurs, who used to be a Captain Brownbeard, who's now an alligator centaur. And he's there and giving them exposition about the master and about how benevolent this master is, and this person that helped all these people that were paralyzed from the waist down from the gas explosion, helped them walk again, having Law slice everybody up and put living animal legs onto them so that they can walk like centaurs and stuff like that, because we see some of what Law can do with his devil fruit, being the op fruit, that he can turn any space that he's in into his operating room, where he can make modifications to whatever he wants. So he uses his sword to do stuff like that. So we learn that that's how he sliced up the samurai that people were talking about from the transponder snail. The crew finds him after they were locked up. They put his head back together. Brook fights his freaking torso on the Sunny. Luffy had his legs attached to his ass. so I'm at the part now where the samurai he runs off as just a head and some legs, and he runs off to go look for his torso after Brooke tells him where he fought it and left it at. And some of the Straw Hats have been switched back together because Luffy and the gang, they bumped into Law. Now, Luffy has kind of already been comfortable with Law for a while because Law did save his life. And, he does want to show appreciation for that because anybody that helps him can't really be that bad of a person. And I feel like Luffy's instincts are kind of good for that. So Luffy ends up having a conversation with Law, and Law tells him that he actually wanted to talk to him since he was already there, and he wants Luffy's help to take down a particular warlord. Not a warlord, an emperor. They want to take down a Yonko. So they purposefully do not reveal which Yonko he's talking about. But he asks for Luffy's help to form an alliance, and Luffy agrees to it. So at this time in the anime, to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong, the emperors at the time are Blackbeard, Shanks, Big Mom, and Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know all four. Okay, so I've been just trying to guess which is the one that they're gonna go after. I honestly can't guess because I know they're gonna go against Big Mom at some point in Whole Cake. I know they're gonna go against Kaido and Wano. I can't imagine the Luffy wanting to fight Shanks, so I'm assuming it's Blackbeard, but I don't know. Oda will do what Oda wants to do, so I have no fucking idea.
The good thing is, even with your knowledge, you still don't know who directly it is. So,
you know the funny part, John? You know the funny part, John? I don't know either, bro.
Yeah. Like, you don't see, regardless, you still don't know. You just don't know. It just happens to correlate in way how the fuck it happened. It just happens to happen. You don't know who's going.
I'm gonna tell you something, John. Me and you are in the same place. I don't know.
That's nice to know.
Shut up.
Nice to know. So that's basically where we're at. Luffy tells Law, listen, we're gonna do exactly what the fuck you want to do, but my crew says they really want to do X, Y, and Z, and I told them we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then when we're done, then we're gonna work on that plan of yours. So Law has to kind of help them kidnap Caesar. They're gonna use him for something that I don't know what it is, but that's basically where we're at in the story. So
you've heard about the Yeti Cool brothers.
Yes, they were already fighting them, and so I just skipped over because I'm just trying to hit like the important story beats. Cool, so cool. They say all of that in English. Even in the Japanese.
That is actually Japanese because cool is not English. Cool is English. Cool. So cool. Cool. And it's so good. It's not English.
So
that is Japanese. Cool. Yeah, because Japanese people don't say thank you. They say thank you.
It's because Japanese. they don't have the TH sound.
Exactly.
It makes like an S sound.
It's Japanese. Thank you, Japanese. Thank you, English. Gracias, español.
And there is your English, Spanish, and Japanese
Japanese lesson for the day. Thank you,
Crispin.
Arigato gozaimasu.
There we go. That was perfect. But that's it. That's where we are in One Piece right now. Punk Hazard is okay. It's moving a little slow for me. It's kind of in that slowish territory that I felt in Fishman Island. But I did think the story in Fishman Island, or the stakes on Fishman Island, were just a little bit higher for whatever reason. I think just the fact that like Luffy and the gang are just surrounded by ocean and everybody can die at any fucking moment. Like I think like just being under the ocean is just more dangerous than being on Punk Hazard. Like I don't know. Like, there's just something about the concept there that I just felt like the stakes were higher
It
than
definitely
where they are now.
It definitely, I agree. It definitely does drag for Punk Hazard. I think the main difference between that and Fisherman Island is just that Punk Hazard, just pay attention to everything you get in this part because it pays off a lot of shit later. Like
Yeah.
there's so like just hearing it back now, I'm just like, damn, yo, like Punk Hazard, that's just beauty of One Piece. You could hear something from 500 episodes ago, and it all correlated. Even 500 episodes from now, it all goes back to this.
Yeah,
it all starts here at Punk Hazard.
Punk Hazard kind of set up where we are now,
because
not where we are. Where we are now in the anime.
Well, this is how I take it, right? Law literally says to Luffy, in the new world, there's only two ways to survive. You either live under the Yonko, or you oppose them. That's it. Those are the only two things you can do in the new world. So Law has his motivations, right, for whoever this emperor is that he wants to take on, but we're not at that part of the story where we have any idea who this character is or what Law's motivations are, or if he even meant what he said to Luffy about why he saved his life. He said, "Oh, I just felt like doing it, so I did it." And that's a lot of premeditation. Like, you had to take your fucking submarine and fucking drive it to Marineford in order to rescue this person. You don't just go out of your way somewhere for, I just felt like it. So there has to be something there. At least I'm hoping there is. There's a whole lot of intention behind Law showing up at the end of the War of the Best. So that's where we are. And kind of want to see where this is all going, and I kind of want to see how Luffy is going to punch gas. That's what I want to see. I want to see how he figures that out, because the last episode is the slime monster. He got the slime monster out.
John, you're not a rookie. You're not a rookie anymore, bro. You should
Luffy always has to hit whoever the hell the bad guy is. He has to hit him.
Of course,
John.
Yes, but you're not a rookie anymore.
But I'm trying to figure out. Okay, he's rubber. The guy's gas.
John,
he's gonna freeze him, and then break the glass and break the ice.
You forgot the one concept that makes sense across the whole thing.
The hockey.
Yes, that's it. Remember, everything that you see, hockey.
Oh, the hockey can heal.
Hockey literally is the negating factor.
You need to go to sleep, bro.
Now.
You need some sleep, bro.
Yeah,
because you wailing right now, bro.
This is also the first time that the anime has been explicit in saying that Zoro and Sanji are both hockey users.
Yes,
also because Luffy says it.
Yeah,
but it's the first time any character even alludes to Zoro or Sanji and the word hockey in the same sentence. So
because we've seen hockey before, but we didn't know it was hockey.
Yeah,
the characters didn't even know that that's what they were doing either.
Like when, like when, what's his name? When Shanks, when Shanks saved Luffy, he used hockey to save him. He didn't
that was hockey.
Oh, at the beginning, when he was good.
Yeah, at the beginning,
that was from the sea monster.
From the sea monster, that was hockey. That he
when Rayleigh stopped.
But they don't really show what happened. Like, they just show.
So if you actually go back and rewatch, you'll see it multiple times as you keep watching. But you can actually go back to that first episode and watch it again, and you'll see.
It's because because Luffy has used Conqueror's hockey.
Yeah, he used a Fisherman's Island when he knocked out the soldiers.
Yeah. Remember when Shanks came onto the boat when he was meeting Whitebeard?
Yeah, he also has Conqueror's hockey.
So remember, hold on. Remember when he came on?
He went on Whitebeard's ship,
and niggas was knocking out, and niggas
Marco was warning him like, "Yo, you need to.
If you're weak-willed, go to the lower part of the ship because he's gonna you're gonna go to sleep." So that's the same thing that he used against the sea monster when he was in the sea. He just looked at that nigga, and that nigga knew to
You
obey
can
and
tell
leave
with
him
the
be.
eyes. They draw the eyes differently when they're doing
When he used
Yeah.
it. Gotcha.
You also remember, I think, I forgot what arc it was. Remember when he those was the bulls that were attacking Luffy, and I think it was with Candle Dude, not Candle Dude, the flamingo, the cross dressing dude,
Bone Clay.
Bone Clay. Remember when Bone Clay was about to
Clay.
get bopped and he yelled at the fucking the whatever animal was attacking
Oh,
them?
the wolves. The wolves.
Remember he said, "Leave my friend alone." That was another instance of unintentional hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used it in Amazon Lily also.
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
And when Rayleigh was fighting this nigga,
Kizaru, right?
What
And
is it?
Kizaru
Yeah,
on the island.
Yeah.
Yes, and he does land a hit on Kizaru.
Yeah.
You're right.
So that's
I forget because that's what Law asked. He said, "Does anybody in your crew know how to use hockey?" And Luffy says, "Yeah, myself, Zoro, and Sanji.
They're the only ones." Well, right now.
So I'm assuming that both what Zoro and Sanji do mostly is their form of armament hockey.
Armament.
They'll definitely go. They get their moments when you'll see it. How they use it.
They're gonna go into it.
Yeah, I mean, because Sanji's I guess concentrating it into his foot. That's the reason why it's catching fire. And I'm assuming that Zoro's able to put it into the blade, and that's why he's able to do.
No to Sanji, yes to Zoro. But Zoro wasn't using hockey pre-time skip. He was just able to cut nothing.
Yeah, he was
just the cutting goat.
He was able to cut nothing. But Sanji, we still don't know why Sanji his foot turns to fire when he kicks. Like, we still don't know how he gets all the heat on his foot. We don't know. Like, even in the manga, we don't know.
I was assuming that was just the way that his hockey manifested.
Hockey manifests in three ways. It's either, I'm only gonna do the one that you've seen, but it's in.
But I mean, Rayleigh did the whole explanation, so yeah.
Hold on. Before you say, what do you know about hockey so far? Go there. Let's start there.
Not everybody that has Conqueror's hockey. That's supposed to be really, really freaking rare, right?
That's the rarest one, yeah.
So that's one of the three types that nobody has, right?
Yeah.
Then there was the hockey that I forget what it's called, but that allows you to dodge. Observation. There we go. That one. And then the armament. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's how.
So those are the main three. It gets more complicated because there's variations to it as they go down the line. But that's your main focus.
You're gonna see a lot of hockey fighting in this.
You can actually you'll physically
you'll be able to actually see what hockey looks like in this arc, because you saw it in the last arc when Luffy was beating up the Noah. You saw him
because he puts it into his limbs and then they turn solid and like fucking colored.
So
I'm assuming that's all it is. He's just hardening his limbs.
Yeah, so that's how armament hockey manifests. It manifests as like just black coating, and you're able to touch people who have Logia powers.
In reality, you cannot really see that. Like, the people that are fighting Luffy can't really see that his hands are black.
No, that's just visually for us.
That's for us to see when they're using it.
Okay.
It's just like in Demon Slayer, and I know I'm moving from One Piece, but in Demon Slayer, like the breathing techniques, you can't see them do that shit, but that's just for us.
Visual aid for the viewer.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
but that's the beauty of hockey, though. As you go along, they kind of everybody has their own variation of it. It goes deeper, breaks down. It can be advanced. So like, it definitely is a big driving factor in the new world, because that's what separates
the boys from the men.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you'll also see that damn near almost everybody that's important can use hockey, or you have to use hockey.
You have to use hockey.
You can't be a basic nigga in the new world and not. You can't be in the new world and not use hockey.
No, you can't be in the new world and not know how to use hockey. That's a fact.
Why you here?
Or have somebody in your team that can use hockey. Yeah. Like there's no way you'll survive.
And the explanations that I've gotten already is just mostly that this is something that like anybody can learn to manipulate, right?
Yes, that's his
But
will.
what I want to understand, I guess, is like on a more microscopic level, what is it that the person is manipulating that gives them that? Like, is it just life energy? You know, like, is it just like
it's your will, your
it's
willpower?
How willing are you to do something? Like, how willing are you to get to the place that you really want to get? That manifests that. You know what I'm saying? That's why not everybody can have
it's like
conquest.
energy of willpower.
It's just
what
willpower.
it is. It's just willpower.
At the core level, it's willpower. Think about how Luffy is so fucking cocky, and if you can believe you can do it, and you truly believe in yourself, that is hockey. Yeah. And it gets stronger.
That's a perfect explanation.
The power of friendship.
No, not even that. No. Honestly, no. Hockey is not the power of friendship.
It's just
the motivation you get from it can be used as.
Listen, that's going to be my contribution for anime tropes. Okay.
Yeah. Power of friendship.
The power of friendship.
Willpower is crazy. Willpower is a crazy ass trope, bro.
So. All right, because I'm assuming no, we're not doing tropes. I'm assuming that like hockey is Oda's answer to Toriyama's key, you know, yes. or you know what I'm saying, like the way like other people use energy, you know, life energy or some type of spiritual energy or spiritual pressure or something where you're manifesting, you know, something where like you're manipulating something and you're weaponizing it. So that was how I understood it. But that does make sense that you guys say it's willpower. And I'm going to keep that in the back of my head as I kind of do some of these episodes. So I hope that this story kind of ends soon. I kind of just want to see the direction that it's going in. This definitely feels like
the story of One
Piece. Like a side step. No. This arc, Punk Hazard. Okay. Like this just kind of seems like a sidestep in like the bigger story.
No, it's actually a big stepping. Like looking back, it's a big stepping stone.
Like we said.
It all just because it feels like an accident.
This is where
agreed.
This is where it does feel like an accident, but this is where a lot of the stuff that we are in the anime currently is setting up. Like a lot of the things that happen now is coming to an end. It's coming to an end in where we are now. Yeah.
Okay.
This is literally the person inbounding the ball. You're here to start the game.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we could leave it on that note. I appreciate the feedback, guys. Thank you for hassling me. Whoa! Too many. Oh no! Oh, technical difficulties, folks. No, it's still going. All right, it's okay, Mac. Thanks. I think
your DJ skills are not good today.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was the program.
It was a runaway train.
Oh, don't blame the program now. Don't blame the program now.
I'm so sorry.
Train,
Johnny, Johnny B, take us out, please.
Okay. So that is all the time that we have for today's episode. If you are listening to me talk right now, that means you made it all the way to the end of the podcast. We love and appreciate you. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight, or this afternoon, this evening, whenever the hell you're listening to this. It's nighttime. So this night, if you guys are watching us right now on our YouTube channel, the Paradise YouTube channel, make sure that you like this video. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and you share this link, right? Share button, and send this to somebody you know that appreciates anime and or video games, and get them involved in the conversation that we got going on. Don't forget to check us out and follow us on all of our social media platforms as well. We're everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're streaming on Twitch. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Make sure you follow us there. You can follow everybody individually as well. We all have our individual social media accounts. And then if you are listening to this podcast, if you are an audio listener, thank you for that, right? So we appreciate you listening to us. But if you just so happen to be listening to us on Anchor has a really unique feature that allows you to donate to the podcast, and any and all monetary donations are appreciated and will allow us to improve the quality of said podcast for you, the listener. So that is all the time that we had for today. Let us know down in the comments below what you thought about today's episode. How do you guys feel about DC's rebrand? Are you confident in James Gunn and company being able to restore DC to what the fans want to see? Or are you nervous for the direction that DC is going in? And let us know. Let's have some discussion about it. Talk to us about One Piece. That's always fun. And we'll holler at you guys on the next episode. I'm outies.
Don't forget about anime
Oh
NYC.
yes. If you want to rock with us, we're gonna be at Anime NYC this Sunday.
Anime NYC is this Sunday. Well, this weekend. This Sunday we'll be there.
We will be there on Sunday. So check us out. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna vlog the event, like from when we leave my crib up to when we get up to there. We're gonna be asking questions. We're gonna have some dope content for you for the week or for the next 2 weeks, however long I decide to promote that shit. And then we'll talk about the event this coming Sunday or Monday, sorry. And yeah, check us out. We here. We live.
What the fuck is
Peace.